Hello Ravencoin lovers and welcome to Raven Rebel's latest video about developing stuff on top of Ravencoin. Today we're going to look at how you can create your own wallet. Yes, your own wallet for Ravencoin. Well, that's a bit of a clickbait. It's not really that we're not going to create our own wallet, but we are going to create a facade, our own graphical user interface on top of a wallet. So we're going to look at, is it possible to have the Ravencoin Raven Core wallet running and then create another interface on top of it? And of course it's possible. So we're going to look at how we have built this thing. What you see here is a web page. It displays how many Ravencoins we have and how many assets. We have 43 beer tokens, assets and tokens. And why on earth would you like to do this? Well, let's look here. Maybe you want to create a more effective, efficient user interface. Maybe you have a lemonade stand, you sell ice cream, you have bus drivers who want to let people onto a bus, whatever use case, whatever you're doing with Ravencoin. Perhaps you need a simplified user interface. Maybe it should be easier to use. You can also have, you can imagine that a company would like some people be able to do stuff and some supervisors or stuff only wants to see what is happening. So we have this web page and we have our wallet, and the trick is to set up your wallet to notify you when stuff happens. You do this in the ravenconf file. You use the wallet notify and you just add you point to script. So you want this script to run every time something happens in your wallet. In our case, we will, when something happens in the wallet, we will just get the balance, the unspent balance, and the list of all our assets. And we send this information to our middleware. We use Google Firebase, so I have a private project on Google Firebase. So I just send this information to Firebase, and Firebase will update the web page. So we have this wallet installed locally on a desktop in Stockholm, Sweden, Europe, and we are using a project on Firebase. We call it Ego Wallet, your own wallet, and it's located in the data center in Belgium. So the information goes from this locally installed wallet to the data center in Belgium, and then from there back to our web server. And let's see what we have done here. So first, as a programmer, the first thing you should do when you start looking into Ravencoin is to be able to understand what you can do. Go to help, go to debug window, click the console and type help. Yes, help. You can copy this, perhaps, and use Notepad or something. Zoom out. And here you have a list of all the stuff that you can do. Lots of stuff. We only use 3 commands or methods or whatever you call it. So let's head over to the code. This is our local web project, Ego we call it, since it's your own private wallet. We have split it into a client and a server. Start with the server. We have a JavaScript file called ticker. It's a Node file. And what we do is just we need the config to talk to our wallet, and we also need to have the service account for the Firebase project. And so what do? Well, when we invoke ticker, which happens every time the wallet notifies us that something has happened, we will do this. We do the RPC call with the method getBalance to get the balance. We do getUnconfirmed balance to get the unconfirmed balance. That is, someone is sending us something. It's not fully trusted yet. It's not confirmed, but it's on its way. And we do this list my assets, which will list our assets. And everything you see here, you can do it in the wallet. So you can go to the wallet, you can say debug window, console, and for example, type in list my assets, and you see the result. And we do the same thing using the RPC interface. And the only reason we here have to be, we have to convert the list we got from list my assets, because it's an object with key value, key value, key value. So you saw that the key is a bear token and the amount is the balance. We have 43 bear tokens. Firebase does not like us when we store stuff in the database. Bear assets in Ravencoin can include, for example, /. You can't use / in the database key in Firebase. So therefore we turn this object into a array, and we instead say each item in this array has a name property, which is the asset name, and it has a balance property, which is the amount, the balance. And we store that. So we can look at the this very, very simple database scheme on Firebase, and we see we have unconfirmed balance, balance, and assets. Very simple. And then we go to our web view. What does it do? Well, the web app also talks to Firebase. Like I said, it goes from the desktop wallet to Firebase in Belgium, and then we have our locally running. Let's start up the dev server here, and so our local web server talks to, or the web app talks to Firebase. And so what does it do? Well, at startup, it starts listening to assets, balance, and unconfirmed balance. That's what you saw here in Firebase here. So if anything happens here, the web page will be updated, because this is a pub/sub, publish, subscribe. It's subscribing to changes on assets, balance, and unconfirmed balance. So let's have a look. What does this mean? Well, it means that if we are here, we are running the web app locally. I will now take out my phone and I will send some Ravencoin to my address. Let's see. So I will, how much should I send? I will send 10 Swedish kronas, svenska kronor, worth of Ravencoin. And I send it soon. I will not send it immediately. First we'll go through. So what we know what will happen now when I click send. It will, the wallet will immediately notice this. And as I showed you guys, wallet notify will trigger this file, which will trigger this ticker script. So this script will be invoked. So it should update the balance and the unconfirmed and stuff. So when I press, if I go to my phone now and I send, you will see some flickering on the screen. That's a prompt coming up with the script. So there we go. Let's see here. And there we send it. Here you go. You see. So our wallet says something is coming in. you saw a prompt coming up. That was the script running, and it noticed that we now have unconfirmed balance. That is this incoming 10 coronas worth of Ravencoin, which turns out to be 20.591 Ravencoins. So now we have it. Now we have seen the first phase of a custom interface for a web wallet. And you can imagine how many stuff, what you can do with this for companies and organizations that want to use Ravencoin in their specific way, of course. So it's a lot easier to use this than to use the and then perhaps to use other wallets. And since it's a web project, you can control the users with you can let them log in with the Facebook or Google or Twitter accounts or whatever. And in the next phase, in the future, we will look at the next step will be to enable payments. Now we can only read. This is just reading from the wallet. Next step will be to be able to send stuff from this web wallet, to send Ravencoins and assets. So if you think this was helpful in any way, if you like this content, if you want to see more content like this, if you want us to implement the send stuff, just shout out on YouTube or Twitter, leave us a comment or a like or something so we know that you are interested. And otherwise, we have to say goodbye and have a very nice 4th of July, especially you guys in the United States. Happy 4th of July. Bye.